I am from Kuwait, and my dad is Indonesian, Kuwaiti, and my mom's African American. And so that kind of gives a little history as to why my mom started relaxing my hair when I was 3 years old. And there just wasn't, she didn't have an experience on how to deal with my kind of hair texture because hers is a lot tighter. So automatically when she was growing up, she started relaxing her hair really young. So she did what she was taught. So when I was about 14, when I kind of started high school, I started to wonder, what do I actually look like? What do I actually look like beyond my ideas of race or anything like that, but just my hair, texture, naturally, what do I naturally look like? And so I started going against my mother and her desires of relaxing my hair. My mom was really angry with me about it, but I was like, I want to know what I look like. So I started going through the whole transition process, not really knowing what I was doing, not having any other Black women around me to bounce off of because I was surrounded by my Asian family and Kuwaiti women, Kuwaiti people, Arab people, and some Black people who are Arabs as well, but not many. But I felt like I was doing the right thing for myself. And YouTube was what saved me. I found this one YouTuber, Taryn916, Taryn Guy. She had this beautiful, luscious, kind of what I have now. And at the time I didn't know, I thought I had some really tightly coiled texture because I just didn't know what my natural hair looked like. But I always wished that I had her hair. So I started growing it out. It was a rough process. But then long story short, I have the same hair that she has. So it's crazy how it was a fun process to figure out what I did have, who I really was. Honestly, I'm at the point where my natural hair means to me that it's just hair. I understand the political and the cultural context, and I've been through it for 8 years, trying to go against my mother, go against everybody else that I went to school with. All of their mothers would always comment on my transition and my hair. Like going to the States and identifying and being identified as a Black woman for the first time in my life, and being one of the only women on campus that had her actual natural Afro hair out and worn. And at that time, it was a big thing. Now it's normal, but 6, 7 years ago, it was still in that transition from that straight hair trend of the late 2000s. So it's I went through that whole up and down of fighting with it and fighting other people about it and making an exclamation of, oh, Blackness. And I'm at the point where I'm just me. I love my natural hair, I really do, a lot. But at the same time, it's almost, I'm gonna be honest, it's getting to the point where I have been thinking about cutting all my hair off for 3 years now. And it's because I'm tired of it being a thing that I have to justify loving. And I feel like taking it to the next step would be cutting it off. If I love it so much, I shouldn't keep attachment to it. And I feel like right now a lot of women are trying to grow their hair out as long as possible. They're trying to watch all these videos to learn how to take care of it and moisturize it right to grow it in length. And I'm just I guess I am privileged to have, whatever genetic mix I have. My hair grows a lot and it's thick, but at the same time, it's just besides all of that, I think the next step, and I feel like this is what the community might get to later, is hair not being a thing, letting go and stepping outside of yourself and stop being so caught up in yourself and in your body, and stepping out of that and realizing that you're much more than your body. You are there when your body changes all over time, but you're still there inside of it. It's a home for you, and you have to love the home you're in, and you have to love and treat it right. Besides always trying to change it, always trying to fight it, it's not gonna get you any closer to happiness or getting you closer to what do you want it to be. It's starts with recognizing what it is and loving it for what it is, But I definitely think that this whole natural hair thing was a thing for medium skin toned women, not necessarily, and then dark skinned women too, but also just a lot of women. Now I feel the more I go on YouTube, I don't really search natural hair anymore at all, I'm over it. But when I do, I see men pop up more, and I see their experiences with their natural hair, with growing it long, with afro, and hearing that more of that perspective, like people of the queer community talking about natural hair and what that means to them. And like, I mean, I guess I'm talking more about what I want to see more of, but I do see more of that stuff now. The one thing that I think is interesting that I've seen lately was talking about not just wearing it naturally, perfectly coiled, or not necessarily even an afro, wearing it out and big. And that's one way to be natural, but there's another ways to be natural as well, like dreading it, freeform locking it, like things where you just don't touch your hair at all, you know, not combing through it, not having all these shea butters and oils to like make it perfectly tamed for who? For whose expectations, you know, for yourselves, because I went through that process too, like 7 years ago, wanting my hair to be perfect, and would wash it every 2 days, 3 days, gel it down so the curls would pop, you know? And then that was a transition for me, and I went through a couple years ago of a radical, you know, transformation of not wearing my hair with any product in it, not even oils. So it was really dry, and that to me at that moment was natural.